Hey everybody, welcome to the video, welcome to the channel. Today we are back in the Mack, Dirt Perfects Mack to be exact. He's backed in here to the go-kart track. The track's down that road, so he's dropping something off. That doesn't really matter for now though, does it? I'm gonna get the trailer in shape and then we're gonna get out of here and go haul some equipment. Step one is always start the truck. All right. There. Oh, yeah. There you go. All right. Hopefully you reach from the ground. That'd be super handy. Oh, you do. I wonder if I can reach that center post. Oh, knew it was gonna be a good day. I knew it was gonna be a good day. Reach that center post. That makes things a little easier. Should be 12. All right. Let's see. Jump pack's got a little juice. Let's see what happens. Just nothing more than personal preference, but I like to spin mine this way. They're not hanging over right here. As far as the dead battery goes, it looks like the turn signal, whenever I fired up, the turn signal was on. And if this truck been sitting for a few days, that'll definitely do it. Especially considering we haven't had to jump this thing. I mean, I can't remember last time we jumped it, so I'm just gonna assume that's what it was. That stuff happens, no big deal. We're all good to go. We're headed that way.
One thing I take for granted when I'm making these YouTube videos, and I'm kind of starting to catch on to it, and I'm trying to get a little bit better about it in these videos, is I always just make the assumption that everybody has either driven this style of truck or has been in excavation business or has done what I'm making the video on. So if you guys ever have any questions about some detailed little thing that happened or the equipment we're using, just feel free to ask in the comments and I will cover it in a little bit more detail in the next video. But one thing I do want to talk about is this style transmission. This truck has a high-low side to it, so I have high and low side reverse. So right there is in low side reverse. And now I have good visibility, and I'm on a good straight stretch, so I'll flip over to high side reverse, which will give me a little bit more speed while I'm backing up. Now, we're gonna go into kind of like a time-lapse sped up video segment here. I do try a couple quick attempts to get in the driveway. I thought, well, you know, we'll try it real quick. What's the worst it's gonna do? I ended up feeling like not messing around with it, and we're just gonna load on the road.
We were getting the Volvo 140. I can't remember if I told you guys that or not. Easy, there we go. All right. Oh, yeah. I like this camouflage system. I think it's pretty slick. Pretty slick. What do we got here? I want to show you guys something real quick. It's just a pet peeve of mine. So in the 120 and in the 145, it has a hatch that opens up all the way. The Volvo has in this thing. Now you can get these however you want. I promise you. You can spec them out how you want. But in this particular machine, it has this piece of Lexan or plexiglass or something up there. One, it's really distorted. Can you guys see the power lines up there? No, neither can I. And it's got this curve in here. Like I said, it's got that curve in that plexiglass. I don't know how well that showed up on camera. But that curve in that plexiglass, just like if you stick a straw in a glass of water, how it distorts the image you're looking at. You're not looking at the real thing. You guys know what I'm talking about? That curve in that plexiglass does that same thing, and it distorts how those power lines look. So one, that plexiglass is just annoying because anybody that's ever dealt with plexiglass knows over time it fades and scratches. It's just not as clear. And that curve in there, I don't like that either. And I'm not saying that's a Volvo better than this or Hyundai better than that or John Deere Cat or whatever. You guys know me, I don't have any sponsorships or partnerships, and I'm certainly not buying any equipment. I'm just saying, if I had my personal preference, I really like the hatch. I like the better visibility. I really do. All right. If you're in the business, you already know this, but if you're not, most of these machines, just like your lawnmower, have a rabbit or turtle for your track speed. And then you got your throttle over here, of course. So whenever I load, I put it in turtle. and just a tick under half, maybe right at half. That seems to be the sweet spot for getting it on the trailer. Another thing you gotta watch is power lines. I don't know if you can see, but I got one that crosses right there. And then I got one over on the other side that runs down that side of the road. The reason I'm right here is it's the most level spot in the road. It goes up a hill that way, drops off that way. You gotta watch how steep your ramp is because you don't want to come over backwards. And you don't want to be too like this because it will slide off that trailer. It's happened before, not with this machine, but that's why we have those runners on there.
So everything's going pretty smooth, and this isn't that big of an issue, but I end up getting behind this guy for about 15 miles, and his max speed the entire time I was behind him was 25 miles per hour. So that was a little frustrating, but it was a gorgeous day for a nice slow drive, so I can't complain about it too bad. We do get to a flat spot up here that has really good visibility. You can't see him waving me around, but he does wave me around right here. You'll see his brake lights. He slowed down quite a bit so he could get me around pretty quick, and we are on our way.
Give her a little toe kick sometimes here. There we go. So we just came from that way. There's the Volvo. You guys remember that part of the video, right? We're gonna back down this little lane there. For those of you that are wondering, if you've been with us on the YouTube Yacht project and the road we're building, you know we're using that chert base rock to build that road. That's what this lane is right here. That's chert rock. All the way back. So we're gonna see if we can get back off of here, pointing with the tripod, because you're gonna go on it somewhere. I do want to look at something. This road coming off, I don't know if you can see that, but it crowns off pretty hard on the side. But I'm hoping, since he clipped the frame, that frame locking shouldn't be too much of an issue for us here. I think we'll be okay. We'll set you somewhere so you can watch though.
I want to show you an example of something Dirt Perfect and I talked about in our previous video. One topic we discussed was drone use and advantages and disadvantages. This is a drone shot, and the disadvantage we talked about was audio. So this is a prime example. I forgot to put the GoPro on to have audio of the machine offloading for the drone shot, which means I don't have that audio, so I would have either had to overlay music, which would have been a little bit time consuming, but fine, or I could do what I'm doing now and just explain how that works, which is what I went with. So I've got that extra bucket sitting up on the top deck, which I've done lots of times before. It fits up there pretty nicely, but ever since Mike put that aluminum toolbox up there, which I have to say has sped up the chaining down process, but ever since he's put it up there, I get super nervous about knocking that toolbox off. Lord knows that that is way more expensive than a mirror. So here's kind of an angle what I'm talking about when we talk about frame locking. You can see there that Dirt Perfect and Man Behind the Scenes, how they clipped the frame on the truck there, has that angle. That keeps the truck frame from getting into the trailer frame, especially on these kind of twisted and unlevel approaches like that. Prior to them doing that, I'll throw up an info card of a very embarrassing, not great day of when I did frame lock this truck before those frame rails were clipped.
So obviously we're picking up the John Deere 850. We'll get this thing on the trailer. Because of the width of the blade, you gotta add magnetic flags to the outside of the blade. We'll do our oversized banner, flag on that side, and then we'll be ready to go. I will say though, I'm pretty disappointed. I forgot to put my flags in there in the first trip. Now one of you guys told me, nobody said, oh, hold on. All right, that'll probably work. There we go.
And I always try to top the truck off with fuel at the end of the day. It doesn't always work out that way, sometimes scheduling or time or what have you, but it's something I like to do. That way Dirt Perfect is ready to go for his next adventure, or if I'm being completely honest, because we slip seat, it may be me driving the next time. So regardless of who gets in that seat, it'll be ready to go as far as fuel is concerned. So obviously this is another drone shot. Now, unlike the other drone shot earlier, I actually remembered to set the camera up on this one. The GoPro was on the bumper, and then I pulled the audio from that GoPro clip and overlaid it into this drone clip, so you have the audio of the truck with the visual of the drone clip, and that's kind of how that works. And the only reason I bring that up, in the previous video, Dirt Perfects and I made a video talking about the camera equipment we use and some of the techniques we used, and there was a lot of interest in that. Not view-wise per se, but a lot of comments, and I got a lot of emails and messages with follow-up questions. So I thought about in future videos, after the main video, after the little credit thing, after I say thanks for watching, maybe showing how I got a couple shots in that video. I know it may not be interesting to the full audience, but if it can help a few people out, well, you know, that's kind of what YouTube's all about. I think, anyway, maybe. I'm not 100% sure what YouTube's about, honestly, but I'm 100% sure this is the end of the video. So, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.